Okay, here we go.
Man, drop our intro song small. There we go.
As the clock strikes 7, the vibes alive. Inner circles here, where voices thrive. Turn on your screens, let the magic unfold. Listening and healing as stories are told. Come on, come on, this is your time. No topics too tough, just heed the calls. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. In a circle podcast where hearts unite, sharing our truths.
Okay.
All right, maybe just take one of those off the string if you may. Especially the
Well, there's
Gabriel.
one.
Gabriel, can
There's
you hear
one.
us?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
hearing you. I'm
Yes.
hearing you. I'm
I'm
hearing
hearing
you.
you. Okay.
Okay. So just take the one. There you go. Good. Well, good evening, Gabriel again, and good evening, folks who will be watching. Tonight we have a very special guest with us. He is a government official. He's the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs for Administration. Is that correct, Gabriel?
Yeah, Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs Administration.
For Administration. So Gabriel is going to be joining us tonight. We'll be reflecting on some important issue as it relates to the diaspora, especially Minnesota area here. I have with me Abraham Kamara and my panelist Tatos. Abraham will be my co-host tonight. And Gabriel, would you like to say welcome to the Inner Circle podcast?
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here tonight and to share with you guys.
So is your visit to the U.S. A business one, or is it for pleasure or leisure?
No, not for pleasure. It's for official matters.
Okay, okay. So just for people who are watching tonight, just tell us who you are, Gabriel, and what you do, and also your background.
Okay. My name is Gabriel Sili. I'm a Liberian. I live in Monrovia, and I serve in government at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I'm the Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs. I'm also a businessman. I'm also a politician. I'm also an entrepreneur, consultant, and also a child of God, most of all.
Right, Titus.
That's
Sorry,
who I
guys.
am.
Okay, yeah. Just real quick, maybe before Tados go, how long have you been Is this your first time serving government, or you have served in government
No.
previously?
I served in government before. I served as, that was 1999. I served as Deputy Chief of Protocol, Republic of Liberia at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I served there up to 2003, 2004. I came back to the States. I went to school as a real estate consultant. I became a real estate consultant, registered real estate consultant in America. And I also went to seminary and graduated with a master's, second master's in conflict management and biblical counseling. I got a master's degree in 1999 from Ogun State University, conflict management, international relations, diplomacy. Currently, I'm working on another master's in law from the UNICAP. Um, I'm a businessman, also an engineer and consultant.
Okay. Yeah, man, you got a lot of things going on. Real impressive.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You got a load of
Okay,
resume.
before we go to Tatas, what? So it sounds like you've had a base here in the U.S.
Obviously, I lived here before moving back to Liberia to continue to contribute my quota to national development.
Okay. What state do you consider your as your base?
Pennsylvania, where I am right now, speaking to you.
Okay. Okay. Tatas.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously, I live in Philadelphia and later moved to Folsom Ready Community, Delaware County.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay,
Titus.
Mr. Sealy, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Um we take your presence here very seriously, so I just want to kind of remind you.
Thank
I'll
you.
I'll jump I'll jump right into it because you talk about you being here, based here, a man with that has so much and so much to offer, society here in the U.S. and most especially in Liberia. So thank you for your service there. So just kind of reflecting on that, right? For other Liberians who are here in the diaspora, who are, very resourceful as you, many Liberians who are here, what relationships you think can be fostered between diaspora Liberians, not just in the US particularly, but in other parts outside of Liberia? What incentive programs you think government could really drive in order to kind of tap into this vast resources of diaspora Liberians that we have here?
Uh, first of first of all, when you relate the concept of diaspora to Liberian government, I think it's very interesting for me to speak to you specifically on the role of government as it relates to the diaspora initiative. Um, at
You're
the
free.
Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we have a diaspora organ that is operating along with that of the Ministry of State. And the role is to encourage our citizens across the world to continue to contribute their quota to national development. And as such, we have gone around to expand our interaction with institutions that are willing to support the diaspora Liberians, especially from people from the United States or Europe and Australia. We had a conversation with the Echo Bank, and we also have Blake, the guy who represents us at the Foreign Ministry with the Diaspora Initiative. We talked to Echo Bank, and Echo Bank is willing to give even loan for developmental initiative, infrastructure development, for loan, for mortgage loan for our people who are in the diaspora that want to initiate in infrastructure development. And we have continued. Even the Yola team came to meet me in Monrovia. I had a meeting with them at my office. And I also encouraged them to take initiative with that. You can only send your money to Liberia, and you can also be part of the process in Liberia in whatever way possible. So you can have a decent home in Liberia, your family can live in while you stay here and also pay that amount for them. So there are a lot of opportunity governments working on to provide for diaspora citizens, especially Liberians, to be part of the economy in our country.
With the, if I could jump in here very quick, with the loan
Yeah.
you referenced, that is as government is talking to Echo Bank with, is that loan going to be backed by the fifth and by the fifth and credit of the Liberian government, or how is that going to work?
I think EcoBank have an initiative that they carry on in Ghana, Nigeria. Is the private sector engagement, but the government is partnering with them to encourage Liberian citizens as a guarantor, as a security for
Yeah,
the
okay, that's
bank
what I meant.
also to support aspects.
Okay.
Thank you, Gabriel. So,
Thank you.
Gabriel, many years. Oh, sorry. Maybe you had another follow-up question.
Yeah, yeah. So I just want to kind of dive into it here quick, right? You say you're here for official business. Can you tell our audience what official business are you here for, and
Oh,
what is the nature,
okay.
and what have you achieved so far?
Yes, basically, as we came here for the hunger, and additionally, we also have what we call Liberia role. Liberia is vetting for the Security Council temporary seat in the Security Council, and we were launching that at the United Nations on the 25th of this of 27th of September, and we did that successfully. And after that, as a Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, it is my responsibility to go around to ensure that wherever government is spending money for infrastructure, personnel, and other things are taken into consideration. So dive into that initiative and move to Washington and this an assessment in Washington. And I also ascertain about a mission in Minnesota. I want to follow up on it and to see what is the progress so far. That is what we are here for.
When you say mission in Minnesota, what is the mission?
First of all, we have an honorary consul general in Liberia of Liberia operating from Minnesota. I think I was prior to us taking over, it was shut down, and the government intended to elevate from honorary council to a council general. So I went to see whether we have secured a space and what is the progress we are about to make to open that place. That is what I went to see.
Do you know why the previous government shut down the honorary council that was here? Do you know why that was?
Basically, I may not tell you exactly what was the reason for which they shut down, but from what I understood, is that they were shutting down from a honorary council. As you know, a honorary council is someone who is representing the government voluntarily. But now the government is intending to get involved into the process and to secure the consulate as an organ of the embassy, where we will have diplomatic staff represented in Minnesota that will provide full services for Liberian population and even residents and even citizens, other citizens that want to visit our country. I think the consulate will be able to provide birth certificate, any official document that Liberians may need from that region, especially as is provided for under the law.
So will that person most likely be chosen from here, or they'll be sent to Minnesota from Liberia?
When it comes to official employment of the Republic of Liberia, the Constitution provides that the presidency, His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai, is sole authority for appointing people. But the foreign ministry work along with her when it comes to a member of the diplomatic service. We make some recommendation, we may make some suggestion, but that is the sole prerogative of the president to determine who will represent the government in Minnesota.
Okay, so just stay on that, Mrs. Silly. It was rumored that in the past, not too far away, the pending appointment would have been someone from a different nationality. Do you know anything about that? And would the new appointment be a Liberian and not a foreigner?
That is not to my knowledge, as far as we are concerned. To serve as the honorary council general, you must be a Liberian, and that is a requirement. So whether it is a foreign national can serve as the honorary council. Don't get me wrong, but we are talking about a council general that is strictly restricted to a Liberian.
Okay, and then you talk about securing a space. Your visit there. Did you confirm whether the space has been secured?
Oh yeah, I did. I went to the site where we have paid for. We paid last year, and then we also renewed the payment for this year, and we have continued to support that. Today, I went yesterday. When I was in Minnesota, I went there to see the site, and I saw the place. It's okay. It's ideally located, and so I'm satisfied with it. I did inform the ambassador about it today, that we need to accelerate the process and to ensure that the Liberian population over there are very much stable and satisfied with the service of the Minister of Foreign Affairs. I also had the opportunity when I got there to talk to some of the local authority, the senators and city mayor for Brooklyn Park, and also the authority of the Liberia Organization of Minnesota. I was excited for the overwhelming reception. So I can tell you that they told me you have about 53,000 Liberians in Minnesota alone, and in the Midwest you are looking at about 100,000+ if you put all together. I think there's a serious need for a representation of government in that region, for which we want to accelerate that process, but with the support of the Minister of Foreign Affairs. The Minister of Foreign Affairs is very much concerned about that. She has asked me to take that responsibility, and she's interested in us having a full representation in Minnesota.
So you've already seen the location. Is it in Brooklyn Park or Brooklyn Center?
I think it's Brooklyn Park.
Okay.
Brooklyn Center or Brooklyn Center. I can't really tell you exactly, but it's in the Brooklyn community.
Okay.
Is it an office space or is it a whole entire building?
It's an office space. If an office space is a huge office building with the east wing identified located for the Liberian Consulate. There's even a bulletin around and consulate for Republic of Liberia.
Okay, sounds good. Maybe go ahead.
Yeah, when can a community expect the consulate to be open?
During my town hall meeting, I told them that I am going to give a feedback to Her Excellency Cyril Yanti, who is the foreign minister. I told them that we are looking at approximately in 90 days' time. We hope to get it keep running and moving if everything goes right.
So basically, next year, January, Liberian should expect the consulate should be operational within 90 days.
But hopefully,
Okay. Okay.
Douglas, before you come in, Gibra, within
yes.
90 days, we talk that's a short period of time here. So I know it is the president's affairs to appoint who he wants to appoint, and you guys can also give him an advice. Have you guys been making any
There's a lot of
recommendation
noise.
as to who he should appoint?
I don't think so. I can speak to that. I think when I had a town hall meeting, I was confronted with such a question, and I told them that is a prerogative of the president. However, the community here can make a recommendation through your institution um, that can be taken to the president for adequate consideration if need be.
Also, are you saying the Liberian community in the diaspora can recommend someone from the diaspora that the foreign ministry can consider and the president could consider?
It's possible based on what I told them, based on the requirement. Like I told them the other time, the status of the Consul General is being approved by the State Department of the United States, and the State Department of the United States is requesting that a Liberian take that position. As you are aware, Liberia have dual citizenship, and so there are many Liberians in the diaspora who are also American citizens. And if an American citizen chooses to become a full representation, direct representation of the foreign ministry of government, either they may choose to either relinquish one of their citizenship and let it be the way it ought to be. But the State Department will do the evaluation and come up with further consideration for the requested a Liberian citizen.
Okay. Okay. That's a very important information right there because if you said like, the United States have a dual citizenship, doesn't Liberia?
So Liberia have a dual citizenship.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, that
Liberia
was
have a
passed
dual
into-
citizenship. Yeah. So we can say because you are a citizen of Liberia, you cannot vie for the position. But the requirement of the United States is a Liberian.
Okay.
Let's go ahead.
Thank you for explaining on that and giving us that new information. I had a question about remittances that Liberians, as you know, remittances help the Liberian economy a lot. And in some instances, we hear that even without that, the economy might collapse in Liberia. Does your department or your ministry have any plan to capture that into national budget or create some sort of program that allows those monies to affect the economy in a more strategic and positive way?
So, gentlemen, I think we are heading for that direction. Like I said, the government and the foreign ministry, through the leadership of Her Excellency Cyril Yanti, is also fostering economic diplomacy. And in the process, we are trying to ensure that area of government interests are where we will be able to get benefit that can support our economy. And we believe that the diaspora Liberians are also contributing significantly to the development of our country. It is against that background that we are bringing in the consulate in the Midwest. We also understand that many Liberians that came to the United States, some of them came through resettlement, DV program. They didn't have opportunity to get passport or other things for their children. And so their interaction for Liberia and getting close to Liberia, since we already have a dual citizenship, it is expedient that they be given the opportunity to identify with their country, even from the United States. And so we are considering all of those impacts, and we are based on our initiative. we will also encourage other sectors of government to start looking at how we can foster that relationship with the diaspora and Liberians and to improve our economy.
Amy.
Back to the consulate issue real quick. We had an honorary consul here who was a Liberian. In
Yeah.
this new process of you trying to elevate a council, have you had any kind of a discussion with him, engagement with him to see what worked? What worked well back then, and what is it different? What are the challenges he faced as a honorary consul when he was representing the community? Have you had any engagement?
Yes, we had a conversation with Jackson George, and I had a meeting with he and his a team, a counterpart, and I told them that first of all, the government of Liberia will appreciate the work they did, and we as the government are coming in also likewise appreciate their effort, and he's also understand that we are all in this together for the betterment of our country. But as you are aware, a consul general, a honorary consul, serve as a voluntary person,
Okay.
and his services is appreciated. It's not like a government have to pay a lavish of salary for it, but it's compensated based on what he does. So we appreciated him, and we are still talking with him. We are still asking him if there's a need for anything that we need to know about. But as far as we're concerned, when the consul general come, the function of his consul general and him would not be the same. It will be someone who comes from that of the foreign ministry and the foreign relations aspect of the embassy to function officially at that level. So we will still collaborate our effort, and where does the need be, we can still ask him to give some input and give some advice.
Okay.
So you mentioned that you were told they shared with you that about 50 something thousand Liberians,
53,000.
52,000
Yeah.
Liberians are here in Minnesota alone.
Yeah.
About 100 and some more thousand within the Midwest.
In the Midwest, yeah.
In the Midwest.
Yeah.
This information, was this surprising to you?
Yes, definitely.
So then my question is, another question here is that what is the foreign ministry doing to ensure that they keep tabs or data on the amount of Liberians, in the diaspora? How are you tracking that?
Well, I told you, I said, this is why we are coming to you. I just gave you information, and I said, we are coming to you. We are coming to set up a consulate in Minnesota that will cover up that entire region. We also agreed that there are Liberians that came on resettlement, don't have data, they don't have no information. They came from refugee camps straight to the United States. Some of them stay here, they give birth to their children, they marry, and they are born, they even have grandchildren since 1990. So we expect the population will increase. And so by bringing a consulate over there, and since we have a dual citizenship in Liberia, by establishing a dual citizenship, we allow us to get a database on our citizens in the United States that are even migrated and are settled down and having children and grandchildren.
So before you're coming to the ministry, this is something that's not on file? Hasn't been on file?
File like what?
That was outdated.
Pardon me?
Previous administrations, have they ever tried to do this? Do you have anything on file?
I wish I was in the previous administration, but I wasn't in the previous administration. And what we have is in the leadership we have at this point in time have taken this as a priority, and as a priority assignment. That is why we are speaking to this. I wish I had opportunity to give you more detail of what the previous administration have done.
Okay.
Not necessarily should have done, but when you look at your books, when you take over, right? Was there? Because in a perfect sense, there will be something on file, so you can look at it and say, okay, this number is quite different from what I know or what I see.
Okay, no. If that is the situation, I just told you there was an honorary consul in Minnesota, and I'm not aware that there was a database provided to us on that about the number of Liberians in that region.
Okay.
Except for this initiative that we just took, and we have that from the authority in that region.
I appreciate it.
And then just real quick, what has taken the Liberian government so long? Government has continued to recognize the importance of Minnesota and the Midwest. Because from us here, we know Minnesota is the largest concentration of Liberian outside of Liberia. What has taken the government so long to recognize the importance of Minnesota and the upper Midwest and the Midwest in general?
Look, I as a servant of government, as a servant of Liberian people and the employee of government, I can tell you for free, this particular government, under the leadership of His Excellency Joseph Newman Boakai, is highly prioritizing the Liberians in the diaspora. That is why he have emphasized his role and set up an office in his office to take care of diasporan affairs. And it's against that background that we at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs have also set up a department in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for diasporan affairs. This administration is interested in Liberians across the diaspora, across the world, to be part of what we are doing in Liberia, and to also know the total number of Liberians that we have, since we have already passed the liberalization, the dual citizenship, to also encourage them to be part of their country initiative. And I think it is against this background, these structures have been put in place to strengthen the relationship between the diaspora citizen and that of Liberia. And so I can only speak to to this government responsibility and to what this government have initiated and what the government want to see diasporan relations become for the future engagement of our country.
Okay. So, Gabriel, I'm back with this question. It still plays in my head. Not the same exact question I asked you, but I'm curious to know: is the foreign ministry concerned about how many Liberians, not just in the U.S., but in other parts of the world? Are we concerned about how many Liberians are out there? Do we have any way? Because it sounds like we are heavily dependent on the consulate office to somehow give us this number when it comes to play. But Liberians in China, Liberians in other places that we will not have a consulate, or are we concerned about that? Do we have any way of getting that? Because if you say the embassy is collecting the information, then why haven't we collected the information from the embassy here?
I don't think I told you the embassy is collecting the information.
You know what I'm saying? If we would conclude that, if you were going to say that. But if
no,
not,
I did not say that. So you can conclude that I will say that.
Well, hypothetically speaking, but
it's not hypothetical. It's not scientific library. This is an exact engagement.
What was that? I missed that.
I said I'm not in the laboratory. I am physically present here. So what comes out of my mouth is exact.
Yeah, no, obviously, but the question remains:
it's not theoretical.
How do we get these data? How are we getting the information?
Like I said, this government, under the leadership, the foreign ministry, under the leadership of Her Excellency Cyril Beslo-Yenti, is striving to the limits. That is why I said the president have instituted diaspora initiative in his office. The foreign ministry also have diaspora department in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We are engaging every Liberian across the globe through the diaspora initiative. We are even calling for a diaspora conference that is scheduled for sometime, I think, November or December. And so we are interested in every Liberian around the world. That is why we have expanded our foreign relations across our embassy to get active and get involved to make Liberia more present fair across the world.
Okay, I know. Okay, just to that point,
I
know you said
I like that. I look forward
just real quick, right to that point. I know you said you have someone point person at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and also at the President's office. Do you have representative at the various embassy or the various consulate like New York and what Do you have diaspora representative at those locations?
The diaspora department, they work with various institutions from every sector of Liberian society around the world. Take for instance, Yola.
Okay.
They have other institutions in Australia.
Okay.
They have some in Europe. They have some in Ghana. So they are working along with the diaspora to reach out, like what you have in OLM. Okay. They are in Minnesota there. So the diaspora department is working along with these institutions to help them coordinate the affairs of the diaspora Liberians.
Okay. That is a question for you before.
Excellent, Gabriel. Earlier you mentioned something about Security Council that Liberia was Is it that we're trying to become a member of the Security Council?
Yeah, a temporary member for 2 years, which is going to the campaign. We just launched the campaign in last month, and the campaign have started. The election should be sometime in June, and we are hoping that Liberia will be elected to be a temporary member of the Security Council, 2026-2027.
That's impressive. And
What is the process like
if you don't
for
care
some
to
of us?
share, Sam, hold on one second.
Okay,
If you don't
sorry.
care to share, since we're on that topic, what do you think is Liberia's position on the Israel-Palestinian conflict, and how do you think that kind of impacts Liberians everywhere, locally and across the world?
You know, what, I don't take advantage of talking on those topics without having presidential approval. I don't give the perception or the position of a nation on critical issue like that until I have a consultation with His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Liberia, who is so authority to determine how we address the position Liberia will take and how she will guide herself along the global sphere. So I
Okay.
will reserve that response until otherwise.
So okay, like
That's fair.
why is Liberia campaigning to become a permanent or temporary member of the UN Security Council? What benefits are going to accrue to the nation?
Honestly speaking, to become member of the Security Council is a huge responsibility, and it also brings you among the League of Nations that require. Liberia is fostering peace and security in the region. Liberia is a role model for a democracy after war. We have instituted about three elections after our civil war, and that is to tell you that we are maintaining peace in the region, and we can be a trailblazer of peace in the West African region. And so
But why
Africa is, what is it?
yeah, why is the government expending resources and energy campaigning for UN Security Council? What benefit is that going to accrue to ordinary Liberians in Liberia?
It will bring you benefit. International relations is all about benefit. When you become a power broker in the global space, and your vote is required to make a decision among the league, it does not go just like that. It is rewarded appropriately.
Okay. Okay. Folks, if you are listening, following us on Facebook or YouTube, tonight we have the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs for Administration. You can call us 612-516-3349 to ask your questions. He's giving you a lot of information tonight. The Liberian Consulate is going to be reopening in Minnesota, and he's saying in the next 90 days, or maybe in January or so. So if you have questions, comments, and things like that, please call us our number, or you can comment in our comment section. Chairman?
Gabriel, you're a seasoned politician. I hear you. Carlos won't put a name to the way. Gabriel must rescue a Sergi.
Yeah. So
Gabriel,
yes, sir.
Thanks for being here, man. The topic is interesting. I mean, having you is quite interesting. I like your responses you're having tonight. Gabriel, I want to know more about, before you came to this position as deputy minister, right? Did you serve in the foreign affairs ministry?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what did you do?
I was a deputy chief of protocol of Liberia under His Excellency and Honorable Ambassador During, Ambassador Hensford.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And for the sake of our audience, what is the current price of a Liberian passport or visa? Now that service is coming here, what are those? What are the current prices?
The prices, I think the price officially is $50. That is for Liberia. But normally when they have to facilitate travel packages and stuff like that, so the embassy in various area have something processing cost attached to it. So I don't know specifically how much has been associated with that particular cost. But from what we have at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is $50.
Okay.
So, Gabriel, a
Recently,
couple of
I've
months
seen a lot of
ago,
people travel. Oh, go ahead, Tatos. You're coming in slow, but go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, I think I'm buffering a little bit. But a few months back, Gabriel, there were some scandals surrounding the Liberian passports. It was those passports were falling into wrong hands, and as you know, as during the transition, other folks, you know, became handlers of those passports immediately due to some tricks that were going on. How safe currently is the Liberian passport? Has your ministry done anything to secure the passport um, and out of the hands of those other folks that might get us in some kind of trouble out there?
Yes, definitely, definitely. We did that. The ministry was able to engage that. I think when Her Excellency Sarah Besgo Yanti got in office, the first initiative was to ensure that all the passports that were issued from March to April 18 was suspended. And there was a message sent across the world informing them that they should submit all of the information within the 18th of March. In the absence of that, anything one are keeping that information, you will lose its existence. And I think that have taken immediate effect, and we asked all of them to return their passports, and most of them have done that. And since then, we are continuing to maintain a very visual engagement on the issuing of passport and diplomatic passport to who are those that are entitled to it.
Why?
Yeah.
I mean, the whole diplomatic passport thing, right? I mean, to Tato's point, has been a huge controversy from Ellen to the previous government. Why is it always issues coming up? Why especially Liberian diplomatic passport? Why are they being? Why do they end up in the wrong hands?
Um, Basically, I can tell you that what we are doing at this particular time. I don't want to emphasize on the regime that I was not part of and I don't know about what it did. But as far as I'm concerned, when we took over, the foreign minister decided to put in measures that will help to strengthen and maintain the credibility of our Liberian diplomatic passport. And it's against that background, she suspended all other passports that were issued, diplomatic passports, and requested that all those that were in possession of it should come back and submit and be reissued. And those that did it, they were reissued. And so we have put measures on that. And we know that this measure we have put in place, diplomatic passport is only in the hands of those who are entitled to it.
Gabriel, I heard you speak about the diaspora agenda, which is high on the agenda of the president and that of the foreign affairs.
Yeah.
What other things are on that list that are high?
First of all, one of the major things that were very hard for us was the issue of the dual citizenship. You got it. The next issue now is we want you to come back now.
Was that under George Weah's regime, or was this?
Yes. It was an argument that you are carrying on. So at least it was endorsed and put in handbill by this government.
Okay.
So other ethnic groups within Liberia, like the Fulanese, are you going to extend any dual citizenship to them?
Dual citizenship is for all Liberians, and dual citizenship, if they are Liberian, they are entitled to it.
So by Liberian, you mean, and I'm frankly asking this question because I didn't really read the bill. But by Liberian, if a person shares a parent, like if a Fulani has a mom who is a Liberian, is he qualified to be a Liberian? His dad is Fulani. Is he qualified?
There's a provision in the laws that also suggests that if you are a Liberian and your other family is not a Liberian and the child is born in that relationship, the child automatically can be protected as a Liberian until they reach the age of 18. At the age of 18, they must decide which country they want to subscribe to. And from that age, you'll be determined whether you'll still be a Liberian or you will go to the next nationality.
Did that bill address whether, like, I know, like, I mean, the Constitution is specific to that, where in like only anti-Negro or folks on non-Negro descent can be Liberian citizen, like a typical white person or Caucasian cannot be a Liberian citizen. Did that bill address that?
I can specifically tell you exactly which part of the bill emphasizes that, But one thing I know is said that when you are a Liberian, you will always be a Liberian.
But Lebanese were never Liberian. Are Lebanese now
So
considered?
if they were never Liberian, how can they be Liberian?
They were born in Liberia. Most of them were born in Liberia.
But if they are Liberians, then they will automatically be Liberians.
So,
Born in a country, there's an age you reach. So like I said, you must make a decision.
Gabriel, as you look at that law, and you look around other successful countries, right? Countries like America and other countries, right?
Mm-hmm.
That allow a person like me, like you, like AB, who were not born here, who were not initially Americans, whose parents were not Americans, right? Come
Yeah,
to this country and we have the opportunity to become part of this country as citizens, right?
yeah.
Do you see Liberia moving to that at some point?
Look, that is why we already have a dual citizenship right now.
But you're saying that if you were not born in Liberia, or one
I know I
parent
did not
was
say that. I did not say that. He asked a question. He asked a question and said, well, how's about a Lebanese man who was born in Liberia? I said, if he's a Liberian, you will automatically become a Liberian.
But that was a constitutional issue. That issue, that's something. Did the bill address that? Because it is, I think it is in the Liberian constitution. You have to be of the
You're
black
Liberian
race
by
to be a
birth, right?
citizen. Yeah, not the
Yeah,
Liberian by
no,
birth, but of
it
black
is no,
race
it's a Negro descent.
yeah. So
Yeah.
did the bill address that?
Yeah, if the Lebanese man is a Negro descent, good.
But we know that
Why
Lebanese
is it?
men
Why
cannot
is
be a
it?
Negro descent.
Yeah,
So
why
let,
is
let
it?
No. There are Negro descent.
How?
There are many of our people of colors that were born by Liberian women,
One of
and
the
their
black
children are there. And at
men.
the age of 18, the children decided to be Liberian, and today they are Liberian.
Why if a Lebanese or two Lebanese parents in Liberia have a child in
Uh-huh.
Liberia? Is that child a citizen of Liberia?
I don't know whether the law supports that aspect, but if there's a provision in the law that suggests that since you are born in Liberia, you will become a Liberian, then that's it. But it say for a Negro descent, that is why
Well,
it's
Gabriel, this
forced.
is what I was asking, and I was saying that
Okay,
going
so yes,
into the future, going into the
yeah.
future, do you see Liberia?
I think we should look at it from a federal political standpoint to say if somebody is born in Liberia, then you automatically become a Liberian citizen. I don't think that's the emphasis of this law. The law say Negro descent, and that is still in force. So until otherwise, we
Why?
maintain that.
I
Why in
understand the
20?
law.
Why
I
in
understand the law which
2024?
you've explained. Go ahead, AB.
Yeah, why in 2024? Okay, the same mention, right? We are blacks who come here as Liberia. My parents are born and raised in Liberia. I come here, I can what become a become a United States citizen. Why in 2024 are we still maintaining such a law wherein like only folks of Liberian descent can become Liberian citizens? The Lebanese are very powerful in our society. Why?
I don't think only Liberian descent. They said Negro descent.
And that's what I'm
Well,
saying.
I think what AB is
So,
really saying here,
eh?
Why can we
and
allow the Lebanese to become citizens in 2024? Why is your government?
Thank
Why can your
you
government?
know, AB. I think this is a great topic. That is why I'm saying the connection with the diasporan engagement and with the force from the diasporan community will help to impact our economy and our society to the highest level. That is why we want you guys on board so we can begin the conversation.
nice
Well,
escape. We'll take that. We'll take that escape. I
no,
like
but I
that.
don't
I like
think
that. Tados, over to you. Not Gabriel, I gave you that. I give you that. Nice escape. Tados, go ahead. I like that. Tados, go ahead.
Tyler, do you have anything? Because I have more for Gilbert. I
Giver,
have more
Giver,
for
Giver is he's in his element right now, gentlemen. But that's good. That's good for the conversation. And the importance I think that's added to this conversation is that what Abe was saying, our children who we have here, they're American citizens. They have,
Yeah,
access to all of these opportunities. But more importantly, the American government knows that they can grow and become really good citizens, right? And have a lot of impact on this economy in America. So, I mean, I think the conversation should start. It should get started because there are so much economic benefits to any nation for that matter. But I want you to kind of throw light a little bit, Gabriel, on the security, right? The security sector, regional security for Liberia. Do you think or if there's any measure that we are taking as a country to kind of secure our borders, our region?
Yeah, honestly speaking, as a Liberian and someone who worked in this government, I strongly believe that the president is very much concerned about the security of our state. The president believes that there's a need for us to strengthen our borders, to also maintain our security status. If you see, even when he took over, one of the major challenges that you were having was this like a war crime issue. He was able to ensure that it get passed so that people can go not without impunity, so that at the end of the day, someone will be charged and responsible for their actions. And so that can help to strengthen our security sector and bring us on level of justice. And so I think our security is very critical to this government, and the president is working very hard to ensure that, especially for what we are trying to do to run for the Security Council, we also got to be looking at all of the aspects of our national security before reaching for global security.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you very much, Gabriel.
Back to the
Uh,
issue of the council of the council here, there's in Minnesota. Did politics play any role for the honorary council being shut down? And what assurances can Liberian in the Midwest or in Minnesota have that when this council is open, it's not going to be maybe that if your government is not there anymore, it's going to be a permanent like situation like you have in New York.
In
Um,
Washington?
normally, when the opening a honorary council general,
Uh-huh.
I told you again, it is something that an individual does voluntarily. It could be a Liberian or non-Liberian. The consulate is been an organ of the embassy that has been expanded, that is approved by the State Department of the United States. And that is functional, and they report through the system. So this is not just ordinary politics, except the central government decides, okay, I'm going to shut down because of lack of funding, I cannot maintain stuff. But I know the council, they will be bringing some support, and there will be a lot of need to support them. So I don't think it's about politics, it's about meeting the needs of our people and serving the Liberian people wherever they find themselves.
So we shouldn't be worried that it will ever going
No,
to be okay.
no.
That's okay.
Do you have any support from the international community concerning that?
The international community is not operating in the United States. The United States government is the one that gave us the accreditation. And that support is more important for us to work with them in their country to secure a space for our Liberian people. Most of us, the state of Minnesota, they are willing to work with us, to even engage with us. They even want to visit Liberia from the state level. So we have a support when it comes to that.
right.
Good.
Folks, if you're watching, this is the Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs Administration. This is Gabriel Silly. He's been here with us discussing. We have about 10 more minutes, so we will just do one more round of questioning to the minister, and we will just have him just close here. So we hope to just wrap up within 10 minutes. So over to you, Abraham.
Yeah. So do you have like how much does the foreign like the embassies here like contribute to Liberian government revenue, like the consulate, the the embassy in Washington D.C. How much do they contribute to Liberian government revenue?
Basically, it's vary depending on what the activities are in the various
The
country.
the last fiscal year, do we have figures? How much did the United
Um,
how much do the foreign
it's a combined access of that come through the central budget, which does not come directly to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. It goes to the Finance Ministry and to the LRA. So I cannot tell you right now how much each of these missions are given until I receive a final overview from them and have to make a budgetary allot projection for the coming year.
Yeah, we have a caller on the line, please.
All on the line. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, are you there? The minister is listening to you.
Hey, how you guys doing, man?
We're doing good.
I want to say kudos to you guys in studio, and I want to say thank you for this very important topic. I wish that Liberian home and abroad could participate.
Your name and where you calling from, please?
My name is Joseph Fire. I call from New Jersey.
What's
Okay,
the
what's the
concern
question for
tonight,
the
Joseph?
minister?
What's the contribution?
All right. It's more like a comment instead of a question. Liberian being the oldest country on the continent, all right, and then looking at laws wherein an individual to become a citizen of that country in 2024, you have to be of Negro descent. This is the only country in the world, where this law is applicable. What's the point of this? We always cry about racism and all this stuff. And Liberia is still practicing something like this. And we got people we got intellect, and it's still sitting there and allowing this law to continue on. Or change have to be made.
Okay.
In March of 2018, there was a BBC report by Jonathan Pelele, wherein one Mr. Hodge is living in Liberia. He was born in Liberia, and he did everything in Liberia. He speaks typical Liberian English. All right, there is no distinction between me and myself if we stay on Broad Street and we're talking. The only difference is his skin color. In this day and age, that man, since 2018, he can't become a citizen of Liberia because his parents were Lebanese. Their skin color is not black. It's not of Negro descent. And up to today, 2024, we do have a rescue mission in place. And these people don't know how to change the law up to now. And people are okay with that.
Okay.
That is very sad. It is
Thank you, Joe.
I'm sorry.
We'll like the minister.
Okay, thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you so much. So that's all I was saying though. Okay, there's the honorable minister.
We'll let the minister respond.
Okay.
It's interesting to continue to have this conversation. I think, like you said, and we have just started. It is good to look at all of these factors, and we are saying with the coming in, you know how long it took to get dual citizenship. So if we can get dual citizenship, definitely we are coming to the point where we will give white people opportunity. But until then, we will continue to use what we have so that those who are not Liberian can try to be Liberian, but either becoming or declaring their citizenship to Liberia through oath, and then they can born their children, and their children can become Liberian too. So I think if your two parents are white, that means you're not Liberian.
That's what the Constitution said. I mean, why can't we?
So until we change that Constitution through referendum and other stuff, let us push on the issue that will make us to change that Constitution. And that is why you are getting involved. And your argument is moving forward. And we are supporting it. And we are opening up more corridor so you can come to Liberia. We can begin the argument and help our legislature to make a better decision for the future.
So are you saying here tonight that this current government will support a provision in a sense that there's no more way in that they can eliminate that aspect of it from the Constitution? Is your government willing to support that?
I'm not saying my government. I don't determine my government. I determine what the Liberian people want. If the Liberian people want, the Liberian people have people in the legislature, the executive is only trying to execute the will of the Liberian people. The legislature is the one that formulated that law. So if the legislature agree and implement the consensus of the people, perfectly we are here to execute it.
What is the United Party government position on that?
What the Liberian people say is what the United Party will look at.
But is your party willing to push a referendum for the Liberian people voices to be heard?
To take out the Constitution?
Wait, the party, if you make it known to the party and project the way of the party, I think the party will make a decision. At this point in time, I'm not speaking in the capacity of the party.
Is the United Party government
Government.
are they
Uh,
going to push that aspect of it?
and I
It is
said to
something.
you, this government is waiting to work with the Liberian Poor desire. And if Liberian Poor choose to do that, and but maybe people like you guys and the diaspora initiative and those in Liberia can agree and come up with a consensus of a petition, the government will look into that.
You
I
can't
think it is hindering
you
investment.
can't corner Gabriel. You can't
No,
corner
no,
I
I
Gabriel.
think
think it
I
is
think
Gabriel,
hindering
I want
investment.
you to use the next few minutes and do your closing here.
before he closes, Gabriel, while you're closing, this is totally different from what we've been discussing. Do you think there will ever come a time where diaspora Liberians will be able to vote? You know, have a say in voting in Liberia?
Oh yes, I strongly believe that. Um, we have had series of meetings on that, and there are other countries around West Africa and around Africa. They are all doing it, and it's just the mechanism we need to put in place and the resources that will have the support for security duty on those voting process. And so we are hoping that as we all coming together and desiring to move Liberia forward, we will work on those instruments and partner with other nations that have done it and how they can do it. And then we will try to incorporate it for Liberian population so that your will, your desire for good governance can be executed in your country.
Is that aspect of it included in the dual citizenship bill? Is that
It is not
included?
included, but it is something that is being worked upon by
It's
people in the
very interesting.
diaspora. We have our conversation with them on that too. They are petitioning also for that.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Thank
Gabriel,
you.
I mean, are we done with questioning, AB, Titus?
Yeah, I
Well, I
think
I
mean,
I'm
we
said,
got
good
one
with
more
I
that.
said, if
caller.
you want to go overboard.
No. I have to respect time. I don't, we have to respect time here.
Yes,
We
ma'am. We
agreed
can
to only
always
be
have the
for
minister back here. I think
we agreed to only
there's
be here for 1 hour. But I think
No
honorable
problem.
minister,
No problem.
you have provided a vital information for people tonight. And as the chairman said, we'll just give you the opportunity to close, to go ahead and any last word for our people.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I'm very grateful tonight for the conversation with, is it Inner Circle?
Yeah, inner circle, yeah.
Yeah. I just want to tell the management and the team, the panelists, thanks for the opportunity to share this information on your platform. I strongly believe that this is a way to go. We must have conversation so we can have a reasoning. How can we come together? We must reason together to build our country and increase our productivity. And I want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity for sharing the mind of the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the desire of our government to work with our Liberians around the world, especially in Minnesota, to maintain calmness and to project the way of Liberian people through that consulate. So I want to say thank you, and then to all those that are hearing me, I want all of us to come together, work, and promote a Liberia initiative around this pattern and this platform. Thank
Please,
you guys
please
for
address this
giving me the
question
opportunity.
quickly before you leave. Just address this question quickly, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is the current passport preparation duration in Liberia for now?
5 years.
It takes
The
5 years.
preparation. How long
It's
does it
Five
take to
years.
prepare a
Duration.
passport?
Expiration duration.
No. The
no.
preparation. How long
If
does it
someone
take to
wanna,
prepare a passport in Liberia?
yeah,
When you go for passport,
Yeah, when you
yeah.
apply for passport.
ah, normally if you have a passport, you want to renew your passport, let's say it's just 24 hours.
Okay. So
And
if
Is
why
I
that
if you
have
don't have a
expediting?
passport? And
If
why
you
if you
have
don't
an if you don't have a passport, you have to go through the it takes maybe 2 or 3 days because they got to interview you, they got to take a fingerprint, they got to go through all of it. So but if you have a passport already, you're already in the database. 24 hours, you get it out.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Minister Gabriel Sally, for being here tonight. It was very splendid. It has been splendid having you, and we look forward to more collaboration, more talking with you. We are based here in Minnesota, man, and so we want to be the voice and a platform for which we can have some important discourse on here. So we thank you so much for being here tonight and answering our call. It was great that AB met you, and we will hope to have you soon, man. You enjoy your
Thank you very
stay.
much. Thank you,
Enjoy
thank you.
your stay
And
here.
AB, thank you for the opportunity, my man. So you
you
let
are
it be for that consistent, my man.
When are you going back?
Hopefully next week.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Safe travels back.
we'll talk again soon.
yeah, we'll
Okay,
keep in
bro.
touch. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Maybe don't call off. Don't call off. Let's use the next. Yeah, Gabriel, you can take off. Let's just reflect a little bit. I mean, Gabriel's good tonight, man. Try to corner Gabriel. Gabriel, that old politician. Gabriel is seasoned. But
awesome.
Carlos, I like your last question. I think that as well, coming to this dual citizenship thing, I think it'll be very important that we can have a space, Liberians here can have a space to vote and participate in elections. Because as it is now, you have to fly from here and go to Liberia to go and vote. And not everyone, can afford to do that. So I think having a space here to do that, where you can stay in this country as a Liberian and vote, that would be great. Because I know other countries, the embassy allow that space where you can vote at the embassy and go out there and catch a vote.
So here's the thing. I think it is important for our community, right? I always say it's like Minnesota is there tomorrow. We have been in the community for long. So I think the Liberian Consulate is coming back here to serve the population. I think even that figure, people say 53,000. I think we're more than that. But sometimes it's just a figure. That's the figure maybe like that is, that is reflected in the 7 counties, the 7 metropolitan counties. But when you look at that figure statewide, I think we are a lot more. We have more than 53,000, folks in the state. So I think the Liberian government elevating that to become a consul general here. I think it is very, very important. We're going to have the same status as New York. So I think it is important for Minnesota. It is important for the Upper Midwest. So I think encourage the community to take advantage of that. So now you don't have to go to New York or Washington D.C. to apply for your passport or to renew your passport or to get a visa. I think that stuff coming here to Minnesota is very, very important. And the minister has shown us that it's going to be operational in the next 90 days, so by January. So I think that is something the community should be excited about.
Right.
Yeah, imagine living in Minnesota where you have the largest concentration of Liberians, and then you have to fly all the way over there on the East Coast to get a Liberian passport. It doesn't sit right. So I'm glad they're bringing it back. When you asked the question about what happened, what was it removed in the first place? He did well by, circumventing that question, not wanting to go into detail about anything in the past. But it seems like this is one of their top priority, and they are taking it very seriously. So we're all going to be benefiting, Liberians, dual citizens. We're all going to be benefiting. So that's really good that they're bringing that.
Yeah. So folks, we want to say thank you for being here. Tune in tomorrow. We'll be here with a very, very special topic. We will be discussing one of our social topics. We'll be discussing what topic we'll discuss tomorrow? I forgot about it.
You the host. You're the program. My thing is about it's an interesting social topic.
Tomorrow we'll be discussing.
Don't disclose it.
Important social topic. Just do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Don't disclose it yet.
No, I got to disclose it because we're posting the flyer tonight.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I got to disclose it. So, as you know, this is a very social platform. And tomorrow, come on, where is tomorrow? Man,
tomorrow is going to be a social topic.
Guys, continue to follow Inner Circle. Feel free to also recommend topics you want us to discuss. Follow, like, share. This is your platform. Feel free to come on here at any time. Join the discussion.
Absolutely. This is a community show. This is a community platform. We are here to fill the void. And what the minister did
but folks, thanks for watching tonight. We had the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs Administration here tonight. And it was a good time. If you miss the live, we'll get up. You can go back and watch it. But until then, we'd like to say have a pleasant good night. Join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. We'll discuss on social topic. We'll be discussing should you disclose your
sexual history
with your partner. Should you disclose your sexual history with your partner? That will be the topic for tomorrow. We'll have some beautiful ladies in the house tomorrow discussing this topic. It will be a powerful night, fireful night. So we want you to be here tonight, tomorrow night, and not miss this discussion.
If everyone had their body count on their foreheads,
Good night, guys. Good night.